Toronto court has dismissed a complaint regarding blocking the Cleveland Indians logo during Toronto Blue Jays games. It turns out that it's actually not against the law for a team to have a name that others find offensive. But that didn't stop Mayor of Toronto, John Tory, a former Canadian Football League commissioner, calling for the Edmonton Eskimos to change their name to something that he says that the public would find less offensive. Of course, he used Justin Trudeau's "It's 2016" line as an argument. So how is this even an issue? In a poll taken by the Washington Post on the Washington Redskins name and logo, it was found that 90% of the 504 Native Americans polled didn't find the name or logo to be offensive in the least. Actually, more non-Native Americans were offended. And wait a minute, I'm totally confused here. The term Eskimo has been deemed a derogatory phrase in the past that was given by non-Inuits to Yupik and Inuit people, meaning eater of raw meat. But now linguists actually believe that the word is derived from an Ojibwe word meaning to net snowshoes. And what's more is that some Inuit actually prefer to be called Eskimos, like those in Alaska, because it refers to all Inuit and Yupik people in that state rather than just one people. The term continues to be considered offensive in Canada, though. From my perspective, when I think of team names like the Redskins, the Eskimos, and the Indians, I think of tough and courageous warriors. Why would a team name itself after a group of people that reflected a derogatory term? A lot of people argue that these are disrespectful phrases, but they're not meant to be. They're being used in the context that these groups of people are courageous and heroic, actually. I say leave sports teams alone and focus on real issues like ISIS or our governments promoting a guilt tax for climate change that money won't fix. And no sports fan, including myself, wants their sports news being clouded over by political causes that are piggybacking on these teams. These issues really just boil down to virtue signaling after all. Something that normal people just really don't care about, and it shows. We're seeing NFL ratings plummet in the wake of Colin Kaepernick's stunt to sit out the national anthem in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. I personally haven't even watched a game this season, and the 49ers are my team. Really, this is just another non-issue that allows the snowflakes to promote their faux outrage. I mean, if the majority of actual Native Americans aren't getting upset about this issue, why should everyone else be? As I suggested earlier, it's not against the law for these teams to use these names, and it's a pretty easy choice to make to turn off the TV, change the channel, or not cheer for a team that you deem offensive because of a name. What's next? Forcing the Toronto Raptors to change their name because dead dinosaurs are scary or something? As for the Edmonton Eskimos, this isn't the first time that there have been calls to change their name. There was a request from a national Inuit organization last year. The team's president says that there are no plans to make that change, though, and that the name is actually a positive representation, which I think most people agree with. As for John Tory, surely the mayor knows that there are more important issues facing Torontonians. For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas. Did you hear about the UN blacklisting the Rebel from reporting at the Global Warming Conference for having the wrong opinion? Click the link below for all of the details and to sign our petition to let the UN know that they should reconsider and accredit our journalists.